Hi everyone, my name is Abel Kantoma from Greatest Design Consult. Today I'm very excited. I want to show you how to make use of your Revit for your design. Okay, we are going to be covering Revit architecture, the MEP, and we are also going to be covering Revit structure. They will be starting with the Revit architecture so that you can become very familiar with some of the basic Revit tools, and once you can achieve that, we will go into the Revit structure proper. As you can see, this is Revit 2024. Revit is a software that is used for your building information modeling. It's a BIM software. It's actually a very great software that makes your work way more easier and even faster than the regular AutoCAD. Now, if you are so used to using AutoCAD, you are very wrong. Okay, it is important that you improve. It's important that you learn new skills. They are very important, or else a time will come that you are going to be replaced. Don't get too comfortable in one place. Okay, so Revit, you can imagine combining the Revit and your AutoCAD. You are actually going to be having a greater, a better, and a faster result. So you'll be having more quality results compared to when you are just holding on to the AutoCAD for your architectural design. All right. So let's jump right into it. As you can see, this is open, this is new. For a new project like this, which we are going to be starting, you can see this is the most recent job I just did in the Revit 2024. These are sample structure project. This comes with the software itself, just for you to see some sample projects you can go through and see how it looks like. All right, all I need to do now is to click on new. Once I click on new, you can see Imperial. I will select the metric multi-discipline because I'm going to be using my metric unit. You can see create new project, or you can create a project template. So if I click on OK, this is actually how the interface looks like. But let's allow this to finish loading. So the first thing we are going to do is to do some basic setting of our environment, how we want it to look like in terms of the units of your measurement, and then the screen color. You are going to see how we'll go through that process together. Okay, so let's wait for this to finish loading. So as you can see, this is how the interface is like. You see the architecture tab, the structure tab, for those who will be using this for your structural elements. You can see it has all the major structural elements are actually available here for you to make use of. And when you are in the architecture tab, you can see the wall, the doors, the windows. These are architectural columns, roof, ceilings, and all that. Okay, so if you have the software, you can just go through to see what I am talking about. You can see this is for structure, this is for steel, which is also part of the structure. Okay, you can see precast, you have system, you has insert. This you can link Revit, okay, with other softwares. One good thing about Revit is that you can easily integrate it with so many other softwares, okay, rendering softwares and even structural design softwares. It can be integrated with software like Structure, can be integrated with Enscape, V-Ray, Twin Motion, and so many other softwares, which makes it a very good software to actually make good use of. You can see the analysis when you are done with your structural modeling. You can do the analysis of those models here, okay, structurally. Collaborate, you can just simply go through this and look at it for yourself. Now we will be focusing on the major settings in our Revit. That is basically what I'm going to be focusing on in this particular episode. Okay, so you can see for yourself, this is Enscape, which is for your rendering. Okay, you can see this is Twin Motion, which is also a rendering software. All right, so if I come under my file here and I come to options, okay, it will bring me to a window where I can do some of the major settings I want. You can see here I can save. This is going to help you to save, give you a reminder to save your job after 15 minutes. You know, in a case where you find yourself where you have very unstable light, it's important that you do the settings in a way that the system can help you to, will always remind you to save your job, so that whenever there is power failure, already you know that you have been able to save your job at a reasonable level. User interface, all of these, you can turn off any of this. So you can see this is structure tab and tools. This is for structure, this is for mechanical, electrical, piping, massing, and site. So whichever one you want to turn off, if you turn it off, you can see the architecture tab. So that means, what that means is that it's not going to display here any longer. So it's important you leave all of these checked, except in a case where probably you don't have need for any of this. You can simply just turn that off. You can see the background color here is actually white. I can probably change that color to another color that I feel is better. The selection, pre-selection, alert, calculating, rebar editing, these are the colors it's going to maintain for me. Okay, as we proceed, you are going to see all of these colors. Now this is your graphics. Allow navigation during redraw. I can just skip this part. File location, this is basically where your file is going to be saved. So you can specify the path where you want all your Revit projects to be saved. You can see this one. If you look at this default path for user file, you can see it's going to be under document. Okay, so this is users, my system is Dell, and then this is document, is going to be under document. Default path for family template files is going to be under your program data, Autodesk Revit 2024 family template. So you can change all of this part however you want it. Then you come to, and then here again, very important, you can see we have the metric units, the imperial units. These are templates in a case where your own Revit is not coming up with templates that you can actually make use of, because there are cases where you will open your Revit probably during the installation. You must have skipped a part and then that template is not coming up for you. In that case, you can actually add a template, but we are not going into that at the moment, so I'm going to skip that part. Check spelling, ignore words in uppercase, ignore words. So you can probably check any of these. You can see ignore words with number. Okay, so this is basically just going to check whenever you having a spell. You can see this is the American English which is going to be using for us, and we have the British English. Okay, so however, while you are inserting your annotations and all of that, is going to do a check for you. Okay, so all that is going to be, I'm going to leave all of this at default, and I will click on OK. Now another very important settings that you should always do is your unit. Now if I type in UN, it will bring up this project unit for me. Now you can see all of these are in metric units, so I'm going to leave it as it is because the template I actually picked was in metric. Okay, if I had picked the imperial template, it would have given me this measurements in terms of feet, inches, pounds and all that. Okay, so if that is correct, I will click on OK. Showing you how to come about your elevations in your Revit. Okay, this is very important. As you can see, this is your north, this is your south, this is your east, and this is your west. Okay, so by simply double clicking on this in my Revit, it's actually going to open this window for me. You can see this is not architectural. Now this is my north elevation. You can see what I have here is showing me the levels. Okay, so this is 0 level, this is 3600 level. Now we can add as many levels as we want. Okay, so I'll be taking you through that process even as we proceed. Now if you look at down below the screen, left side of my screen, you will see here on the project browser. Now you can as well move this project browser to wherever you feel like to position this. Now if I move this here, now you can see by the right hand corner is showing me like a shaded, is a bit shaded. At that point, if I drop it, this project browser will be inserted here. Similarly, if I want to move this project browser to this point, I can bring it back here, and once it's shaded, I can drop and it will be inserted here. So but I want this to be just below here. You can see if I just drop it like this, it won't actually be inserted until I get good. Now you can see once it's shaded, I can drop. But I want it to be and there are cases whereby this project browser and the properties may not be here, or you most likely closed it unknowingly. Okay, one way to bring that back is to go under your view tab. Okay, when you come to your view tab, you can see user interface, and then it has like an arrow pointing down, like a form of a triangle. You can see here we have navigation bar, project browser. If I should click on this, you can see that project browser is actually turned off. If I go back here and I click on project browser, it's going to bring back my project browser. So this is basically how to do that, and you can turn off anything here: the project browser, the properties, the system browser, all of them. They are part of this list. All you need to do is just to carefully come here and click on it, and it will be turned off. All right, so to focus on what we are doing, You can see here, like I said, this is the north, this is the south, this is your west, and then this is your east. It's very easy. All you need to do, you can just double click on this and it will take you to the north elevation, and you can simply come here under your elevation. You can see we have floor plans, we have floor, this is floor plan, this is for site, this is for architectural plan, this is for site if you want to when you are to create your site. We are actually going to go through that process as we proceed, but if you come back to your elevations here, you can see here we have the east elevation, north, the south, and then the west. However, if I double click on any of these now, it will bring me to the north elevation. Okay, so at this point here, you can create a level and you can copy an existing level to a new level. All you need to do is just to specify the height. Okay, so based on what I have here in my model, this is what I want to model. But in this case, I want to model it using Revit. This was done using SketchUp, but I want us to reproduce this in our Revit software. Now, to proceed with this, all I need to do now is to come back to my Revit. Okay, now I am going to be having the ground elevation, the ground floor level. We are going to be having the ground floor, then we are also going to be having the ground level. I'm going to be explaining that as we proceed. We are going to be having the first floor level, we are going to be having the roof level. I will demonstrate that even as we go on, and the staircase landing level and all of that. So we'll specify that right away. This is where we are going to be focusing on. This one now, this level is level 0, so I can just change this by giving it a name, and I will name this my ground level. Okay, so this one I will name this my ground floor. Okay, and this one I will make this at the height of 450, for example. And then this one, if I click on this now, it is important for you to know that the Revit itself has so many tools that you can use for your drafting. But like you know, it is a BIM software. If you create a wall in Revit, automatically it will be generated in 3D as well. So I'll be demonstrating that even as we proceed, but quickly let me show you some of the key important tools which are here that we are going to be using even as we progress. As you can see here, we have the align tool, which is by the shortcut, which is AL, the offset tool, which is OF, the mirror tool, which is MM, this is mirror draw axis, this is DM, and this is trim, which is TR, which is the same with your AutoCAD. So the shortcut key here with that of AutoCAD is the same. Move is MV, copy is CO, which is also the same with your AutoCAD. Your rotate is the same with AutoCAD. The shortcut I'm talking about. So if you are very familiar with AutoCAD, you may not necessarily be missing at some point. It is easier for you to understand it as we progress. So to do an offset, I will select the object first and I will click on copy, and then I will select what I want to copy. Sorry, I will take that again. If I select this object, I will click on copy, and then I will click on this object and I will hover my mouse along the direction where I want to drop this next offset. And now I will specify the height that I'm going. It is at 3 meter. because this is going to be our first floor level, and similarly I'm going to copy again to the next level by typing the height, and I will specify 3 meters as well. So here I'm having my ground floor, here I'm having my first floor, here I'm having my roof level. Okay, so all I need to do now is to specify other levels, like the landing level. You are going to see how I will use that as we progress. So I will click on this and I will hover my mouse up, and then I will specify the height for my landing level as 1,500, and I will do similarly for this. If I click this now and I click on offset, and then I will hover my mouse along this direction and I will specify 1,500. So here I will specify, you remember, this is the ground floor level, this is the first floor level, and then here I will name this my first floor. Very important that you give them names so that you don't get confused first floor as you proceed. And this one here I will name it second floor, sorry, roof. And then here I can name this landing or first floor landing. This is second floor landing, right? All right, let's leave it like this. Oh, sorry, I think sorry, second. Something is wrong somewhere. Second floor landing. Okay, there was a mistake somewhere. All right, another important thing that you should do here is to, while you are here, all right, let's just go on. Now I've been able to create all my levels. This is my ground level, this is ground floor level, this is first floor, and then this is my roof. So we have 2 landing level. We have at the first floor. Okay, let's see. Floor. No. Down. However you want to name this, very important that I can name this one. Sorry, this is the first. All right. So, all right, I'm done with this. Let's come here. Very important. You can see at your view tab. Very important. Click on view tab. Click on plan view. Click on floor plan. If I click on floor plan, it's going to give me the lists of these levels that I have here. But if you look carefully, you will see that some of the levels are actually not showing here. The reason is because by default the software will automatically generate some levels for you, by default. Now you can see this is one of the level by default, level 1, and this is another level, level 2, which is actually created by the software. So when you come under your view trying to include your ground floor, ground level and your ground floor level, it will most likely not show here. So it is important that you delete that, because if you come down here at the left hand corner of this screen under your project browser, you will see that all those other levels which are supposed to appear here are not showing. Okay, so you can see this is the levels based on default settings that are showing here. Now I don't want this, I can delete this, but let me try to do something quickly so that you will understand better. If I come back to this view and I click on this drop down menu, I click on floor plan, I can highlight all of this. If I highlight this and I click on OK, now I want this to be included in my views. Okay, now you can see they are now showing. Okay, so now I have my ground floor landing, first floor landing, and then my roof. But you can still see that this particular level and this level is not reflecting here. So all I need to do first is to delete these two levels. I will delete this one and I'll also delete this one. So once I delete this one, I'll come back to my view and I'll click on this drop down menu, click on floor plan, and then you see these two views are now showing here. I will select the both of them and I will click on OK. Now I have all my levels. Okay, now one very important thing I used to do is to sometimes rename this and then add a number at the front. So I can name this O1, I will rename this O2, so that this is going to be sorted so that it won't be scattered whenever I want to switch to a level. This is ground floor, this is ground floor landing, it's going to be O3, first floor is going to be O4, and then first floor landing is going to be O5, and then this last one will be O6, all right. So by default now, based on how I arrange this, is going to help me arrange this serially. Okay, so this is O1, O2, O3, O4 up to 6. Right, so we are definitely going to be stopping here in this particular episode. In the next episode, I'm going to be showing you how we can use some of the major Revit tools that you can use for your design. I'm going to be showing you how to make good use of those tools. So make sure that you stay safe and you stay blessed. As you can see, we're able to go through the levels, we're able to go through some of the major settings in our Revit architecture. Now on this episode, we are going to be focusing on some of the key tools that we'll be using for our Revit. Now if you come to your modify tab in your Revit, you will see we have align tool, we have offset tool, we have mirror tool. Okay, so let's now go in this order so you can be able to understand some of these basic tools that we'll be using at the moment. Now, if I come to my architecture tab and I will click on my wall tool, and if I click on wall, I'm not going to be talking deeply on wall. I'm just going to be focusing on my modify tool. So I'm just going to draw walls. As we proceed, I'll be showing you how to insert and edit your walls and specify the height of your wall and specify the type of material on each wall and all that. We are going to go through that process together, but let's focus on how to make use of our tool. So I will draw a wall, not minding the height, the length. I will just draw a wall. Now let's say I have a wall like this, and then if I have a wall like this, for example, okay, so the first tool we are going to be talking about is the align tool. We can simply align a wall. For example, I drew a wall here, and probably this is a mistake, for example, and I want it to come straight this way instead of the way it is at the moment. I can just simply use the align tool. So let me delete this wall. I can just select and just click on delete and it will go. So if I click on my wall and I just click on this point and I drop a wall here, I'll click on escape to release that particular command. And then the next thing I do is to come to my modifier, click on align, and I will select. Now I want it to align with this line. You can see this particular wall has a line at the exterior part. This is inside, this is outside. Okay, so I can align with the I think in Revit it is called whether the inner face, this outer face, and all that. Now if I want to align this inner with this, I will just click on this. Now you can see that has been aligned for me. This is how to basically use your align tool. Now to offset, all you need to do is just to simply select that particular object and click on offset tool. Now I can offset by specifying the distance where I want to offset this particular wall to. So I will just type a distance of 2 meters, for example, and if I click on this at the top here, you can see there is a dash line at the top here indicating that this is going to be offsetting along this. And then if I want it to come down, I will just hover my mouse around the lower part of this wall, and you realize that this is going to show me some shaded lines down below this. So if I click this, it goes down. If I click up, it goes up. If I want this to come this way, it comes this way. So this is basically how to use your offset tool. And then the mirror tool is simply just to mirror, as the name implies. So if I want to actually mirror these, let's say I want to mirror this. Okay, so all I need to do now is to click on my mirror tool, and I will select the object. I will now hold on. So I will select the object. If I select the object, I will click on mirror, and if I want this to mirror this way, I will just come to the center of this line. Once I click, you can see that has been mirrored for me quickly. Similarly, I can move my tool. If I want to move these, I can just select that object and I will click on move, and I will select, I'll click on and then I can just hover my mouse along to the direction where I want to move this. So it's similar. You can move these by clicking on move, and boom, you can see that has been moved. Similarly, that is the best way to move your tool. If I want to move this as well, I will just select it and click on move, and then I will just over my mouse along the direction. I can also specify the distance to where I want to move to. Now this is coming based on you can't keep elements joined, yeah, because I will just click on join elements. The reason is because where I'm moving this wall to is far more than the length of this particular wall. You can see this wall and this wall are actually joined together. There are settings you can do to unjoin all your walls together. As we proceed, as we talk about walls, I'm going to be explaining that to us. All right, so that is that. We have been able to go through the line to the offset to the mirror to the move tool, and then the copy tool. I have demonstrated that is similar. Just click on it, click on copy, and then just move your hand along the direction. You can even specify the distance where you want this to be copied. Similarly, like your move as well, you can click on this, click on move, and you can just specify the distance where you want this to be moved to. So let's say this is 3 meters for example, and it will be moved to 3 meters distance. Okay, so similarly you can do that for rotate. You can just select the object and click on rotate. Once you click on rotate, you can pick that point where you want to rotate from. If I click that point, I will select this is at angle 180, so I can just move. As I'm moving my hand, you can see those dashed line is showing me the direction where this is going to rotate to. And if I want to rotate this to this angle 90, if I click on this, you can see that has been rotated. So similarly, that is basically how to do for all of them. To undo a particular command, you can just type on Ctrl Z to bring you back. All right, so similar, you can trim. If I click on trim, TR for trim, and I'll click here and I'll click here, it will be trimmed. But then because I already have a line here that is broken, so let me show you a perfect example of how to trim this. All right, one perfect example is to just come here, click on my wall. Let me just introduce a wall around here. You can see introducing your wall automatically, it just come. Let's say I want to, let me demonstrate something quickly as well here again. I click on wall again, and then if I want to click here for wall, you can see joint status. So it's joining. I can disallow my joint, so it's not going to join if I disallow. So but I'm going to leave it the way it is. We are basically not really talking about wall at the moment. I'll come to my modify here and I will click on my trim. If I click on trim, I will click on the first object. Now I have to click where I want to keep. This is part of the wall I want to keep, and I will click on this one. Now you can see the remaining part has been cut off. So this is basically how to trim using your Revit software. Now there are some other tools which I'm going to be showing. Revit tools that we are going to be using in most of our designs. Now we were able to talk about the align, the offset, the mirror. We didn't use this mirror draw axis. I'm going to show you how to do that. this is mirror peak axis. That means you are using a reference point. Okay, that means you already have an existing object that you want to use as your reference to do your mirror. That is basically what we just did in the previous episode. We have the move, we have the copy, we have the rotate. We've talked about all of this. We've talked about trim as well. So on this episode we are going to be talking about the mirror draw axis. We'll talk about the trim. We'll talk about so this is trim / extend. We are going to be using this as an extend tool. As we proceed, you are going to see how you can use it both as an extend tool and also as a trim tool at the same time. This is for multiple elements. You can actually extend multiple elements at a time. Okay, if I click on mirror draw axis, all I need to do is to click that particular object, and then sorry, if I select my object and I click on mirror draw axis, if I hover my mouse around here, you can see it is giving me some specific distance, and I can simply type a distance to where I want to mirror this. So if I click this, that means this is going to mirror the other way at 3 meters distance. So if I click on this now, what that means is that have been mirrored at 3 meters. So if you check this now, this is going to be 6 meters divided 6 by 2 is going to be 3 meters. Okay, that's basically how to achieve that. And then to do my trim extend rather, all I need to do now is to let's say I bring this back to this point here, sorry, or let me unjoin. Let me just unjoin this. All right, so let's say I want to extend this to this instead of this. All I can do now is just to click on my extend, and I'll specify where I want to extend this to. You can see I can just click on this line, and then I will come back here and I'll click on this, and automatically it's going to extend to this particular line. Similarly, I can do that for, I'm going to undo this, and I want to, let's say I want to extend these two lines together to this other particular wall here. I'll drop this here and I'll unjoin this. Yes, unjoin. So let's say I want to extend these two walls to this particular wall. All I need to do is to click on this for multiple elements. If I click on it, I will select where I want to extend to, and I will just highlight the both of them, and they will extend to that wall. So this is basically how to achieve that. There is another very powerful tool called the split element. If I click on this split element, I can split this wall at any point. Now if I don't want this wall and this wall to be joined together, I can split it at any distance. All I need to do is just to click on that point, and it is splitted automatically for me. So if I click here now, you can see this wall is now entirely separate from this wall. Okay, so that is that. Let me click on this. Now if I select any of this, and you can see override by element, we are going to go through that even as we progress anyway. But if you look at this, we have delete. I can delete this object by just clicking on this after selecting it. If I select this and I come here, I can also delete, and I can use the delete from my keyboard. If I click on that delete, it will go. All right, so we have been able to talk to a level, talk about some of the key tools in Revit. Another tool we are going to talk about is the measure between two reference. We can use this one for dimension. I can measure between two reference. If I want to check the measurement from here now to this point. You can see the distance is 4,900. That is what is showing me. Okay, so you can measure along an element by just clicking on that element, and automatically it will tell you the length of this particular element is 26,000 millimeters. Similarly, if I want to measure, I can use the align. So if you are very familiar with your AutoCAD, this is basically similar to the AutoCAD dimension tools. Okay, so you can see this is for align, this is for linear. Similarly, if I just click on this object, so if I want to know the dimension from here to here, sorry, it's loading in the background. Linear, linear measurement. So if I try to measure, all I need to do is to click on 2 points and that measurement will come out for me. Similarly, I can do for angular measurement. If I want to know, all I need to do is to click this and click this, and it will tell me at what angle is this. This is angle 90. And similarly, you can know the radius or diameter of a circle if you have an existing circle in your model. Okay, so as we proceed, I'm going to be showing you most of we'll be going deeper into most of these tools, getting to understand how to use them. For arc is a bit similar to your radius, diameter, and all of that. Okay, that is that. In the next episode, we'll be going into how to draw your plan in your Revit software. Okay, so I will see you in the next episode. Today we are going to the episode 5 of this training. We'll go further to explain some of the Revit tools that we could not cover in the previous episode. Now there is a very important tool that we need to really talk about. If you could remember, in our modify here we have some dimensions for diameter, for radius, for your arc that we could not cover, and every other dimension here. We need to have a circle in our window or an arc in order for us to take a dimension for an arc, or for the diameter of a circle, or the radius of that particular cycle. Now there is a very important tool, which is the line tool. Okay, just like your AutoCAD that we have line tool in Revit. Now this line tool here, the shortcut key is LI for line. Now if you just type in LI and press enter, it will come up for you. But now sorry, just type in your LI, rather it will come up. You don't have to press enter. Now you can see there are a lot of magic you can do with your line. Now this line can be used to achieve whether a rectangle, whether an inscribed polygon, a circumscribed polygon, a cycle, an arc. This arc now is based on 2 points. We have the start, we have the end, and then the radius. Okay, so it's literally 3 points rather. You can see the first point. Now you can see there are points showing from here in the preview, the first, second, and then the radius. Similarly for this is a 2-point arc. All you need to do is to specify the center and then the ends. We have tangents, fillets, arc. So we may not go deep into all of them, but we'll briefly explain some of the key important tools here that you will be using in most of your jobs. Now the line tool, all you need to do is to click if you don't want to use the shortcut. If you click on this line tool, you can easily draw or sketch any kind of shape you want to achieve. Now you will agree with me that there are some shapes that are difficult to achieve using just your wall tool. As we proceed, you will see how to use the wall tool. So you will have to at some point use your line tool to trace that part. When you are able to sketch, then you can use the wall tool to actually trace that part of those lines, which I'm going to be demonstrating for us as we progress. You can see the rectangle. All I need to do, I can specify the length and the breadth of that rectangle, and I will sketch that rectangle. Similarly for an inscribed polygon, if I click on inscribed polygon, you can see I can specify the radius of that polygon, and once I type in, and it will come up. Similarly for my radius, if I want to get the radius of this, click on the first point, click the second point, and then this is my arc. I hope I'm mentioning arc, not radius. This is an arc rather. Similarly for this, I can take this. You can see it's always interactive, so it tells you what to do. It says sketches a curve by specifying the center point of the arc, start point and end point. Okay, so you need to identify the center, the start, and then this is the end. So you can see automatically it will generate this particular arc for you. So it's very interactive. All you need to do is just to follow that guide. You can see if you want to specify the radius, use the center ends arc tool. Okay, so this is basically how to use these tools. You can see the eclipse as well is here if you probably have a model that requires using an eclipse. Okay, you can as well achieve that. It's very direct and very easy to make use of. All right, so if you are able to achieve all of these, you can. All right, let's create a cycle as well. By the time you have a cycle, you can simply check the dimension of your cycle by clicking on the diameter of this cycle. Now if you click, it will give you the diameter of the cycle. However you place it, that will be the diameter of this cycle. Similarly, if you want to check the radius will be 5,000, because the diameter here is 10,000. So we can just check the radius of this particular cycle. So you can see the radius is actually 5,000. So similarly you can do for your. All right, so that is that on this episode. On the next episode, I'm going to be showing you how to make use of your wall, your doors, your windows. Okay, how to make use of your rail. So we'll go through that in the next episode. So I will see you focusing on how to make use of your walls, your doors, your windows, okay, in our episode 6 of this training. Now, let's go down and let's go straight into this. Now, if I click on my wall, I will save this project. This is automatic save based on our settings, if you could remember. So it will always save at interval of 15 minutes. All right, now by clicking on, okay, it's still loading. So I will come to architectural tab. You have to be in architectural tab, then you click on wall. Now there are some very important key things we need to put into in consideration while drawing, coming up with your wall. First, you need to be sure of the level that you are in. You could remember, if we come to north architecture, which is the north elevation, if you could remember, we have the ground level, we have the ground floor, we have the ground floor landing. So you have to be sure of the level that you are in at that time. Now, coming back to, let's come to my ground floor, and I will double click on ground floor. All right, so we have the wall. By clicking on the wall is going to come out, and then the properties of that wall will actually come out as well. Now you can see, if you look at this, these properties are basically properties of this particular wall, and every information you see here has to do with the wall. Now if you look at this here, we have unconnected. Now the unconnected height is going to be 6,096. Now, but if you could remember, based on our elevation here, we want our ground floor to be at 3 meters height, okay? Then the ground level here is 450. All right, so it is important that sorry, I'm going to ground floor level. Now it is important that when you click your wall, you specify the base constraint. Now it means that you are specifying the depth. So this wall is going to stop at the ground floor level, which is at the level of 450. Okay, now it is also going to what level? Okay, so I will have to specify what level this particular wall is going to. Now I will specify the first floor level. So automatically, based on these settings, automatically, if you could remember, based on the level settings we did, it is going to be 3 meters height. Very important. This is one very key important settings that you must actually take very seriously. Okay, and then if you look at this here, we have basic wall generic, and you can see based on the default is 200 mm, but there is like a triangle facing down here. If I click on it, a drop down menu is actually going to pop up for me. Now this drop down menu allows me to select based on the default like an existing template of wall that I can just pick from. But as you can see here, sometimes the specific size of wall that you would want to use may not be here. Now let's say I want to use a 230 by 230 size of wall, but you can see here we have different types of wall: the concrete, foundation, generic. So I'm going with the generic wall now, and I want to edit this particular wall. Now this is the one I'm picking. I want to edit this wall by specifying sorry, I'll click on edit. Now if I come here now, you can see every information here is based on this generic wall 200. Okay, if I click on any of these, it will pick any of these templates. But while I'm still here, I can duplicate this. Very important that you duplicate so that you don't tamper with the original default template. So I can just specify that this wall is going to be 230 by 450 type of wall. Okay, and then I will click on OK, for example, and I can come to, I have now duplicate this, so I have created a new wall. All I need to do now is to specify the thickness of this particular wall. So I will type 230 size of wall. Okay, and I will click on OK. But then if you look at this now, another thing I would like to do, sorry, let's come to the structure here. If you look at this, under we have function. Now the function of this wall is a structural wall. The material here can be changed to any kind of material I will probably want to use. Okay, so if I click on this now, it will bring out the properties based on the materials of this particular wall. Now I can select in terms of the color, in terms of the material, in finishes and all of that. So let's go into that so that we could see what has been done here. No, like it's giving me an error message or something. Now you can see this is the project material. So these are different material: analytical surface, exterior wall, interior wall. Okay, because these shades, you can simply even search based on what you want. You can come further to the graphics. As you can see, the appearance, the physical, you can see this is basically how it's going to look like. So all of these can be changed from here, so you can specify how you want it to look like from this end. Now if you come to this filter, you can see this is concrete, fabric, gas, generic, glass, insulation. However, just if I click on wood now, you can see it's bringing out these materials based on wooden materials that are available here. These are carpet material, this is concrete. So you can take out your time to select, or you can leave it at default. Sorry, it's loading in the background. Right, so I will just simply click on OK. I want this to be as brief as possible. No, I don't know. All right, so I will click on apply and then I will click on OK. Now what that means is that my wall now is a 230 by 450, although forget about the 450, but this is going to be the width of this particular block. All right, so if I try to draw now, I click any point, and I'll move over my mouse to any direction, whether horizontally or vertically or even diagonally. It will follow me, and you can see it is at an angle of 38 degree. So however, if you want to draw a wall at any angle, all you need to do is just to follow based on that angle, and it will go. Now you can see this is angle 38. So let's say we want to go at an angle of 30. You can just move your mouse. You can see this is angle 30. I can leave this at this. Now, one very key important thing about this, or one good thing about Revit, is that it is actually a BIM software. Whatever you do here is actually taking place in the 3D. So it's generating your model for you automatically as well. Now, if I want to view this, I can come to my view tab and I will click on tile vertical. For those of us who are familiar with AutoCAD, you remember that this tool is also available in our AutoCAD. Now, because I can close, oh sorry, I don't want to close this. I can close some of this because it's too much on my screen. Let me close that one, and also let me close this. Now you can see it has divided. I'll close this as well. Damn, I just made a mistake. Okay, let me do something quickly. I will click on the 3D, and then before I divide the screen. Okay, so right now we have two of these that are open. So we have two different windows. I can switch to ground floor. I can as well switch to the 3D. Now I can just use the tile view to divide this into two. So I'm going to have, by the one on the left, one is going to be on the right. So if I click on tile view, now I'm going to have my 3D here. So whatever I do on the 2D, automatically you see it taking place here real time. Okay, so this is are the basic settings that you will do using your wall, although there are some other settings that are very important to actually take note of. But let's see if we can cover up some of these basic settings that you will want to achieve in your wall. So if I click on wall, now if I draw this, now you can see I've been able to draw this, but look at this join statue. Now what it means is that as I'm drawing, automatically the walls are joining together. You can see, unlike AutoCAD, when you draw a wall on another wall by just drawing lines, you will have to manually trim them in order for you to have a fine finish like this. But in terms of Revit, it's automatic. You can see it's creating all of that for us. But at the same time, we can disallow this so that when we draw a wall, it doesn't join together. That means we will have to manually join them. Okay, so if I want to use the disallow, now whenever I draw a wall, it doesn't automatically connect. So you can see this is no longer connecting with this. Okay, and then another very key important settings that we should take note of in our wall is the location line. Now if I click on this drop down menu, you can see what I have the wall center line, which is the most advisable, but there are cases where you need to use a finish face interior or a finish face exterior, whether core face exterior, core face interior. Okay, right. So in that case, let's say I'm using an finish face exterior. You will realize that whenever I want to draw a wall, if you look at, there are dash lines at the top corner of this wall, that is telling you that it's not drawing this wall center to center. You can see this is exactly what I am talking about. Now you can see it is not picking this wall at the center, it is picking it from the inside, which is from the exterior, from the external part of this wall. So similarly, if I try to use that of if I try to use that of the interior face, is similar. You can see it is picking from the other side. So this is basically how to use this wall. So similarly, you use this for every other type of wall you want to make use of. Now if we click on this, you can see the core exterior, core interior is just similar to what we have just done. Okay, so it's similar, and you can see the walls are no longer joining together because we have disallowed that. Okay, so I can come back here and allow this, and then pick my wall center line, which is what you are basically going to be using in most cases. So if I try to do this now, you can see it's joining together because I have now allowed this. So if I click on escape, let me save this project. So make sure you always click on escape in order for you to undo any command that you are actually using at that time. Okay, let's allow this to finish loading. All right, good. Another important thing I would like to show you is this chain. You can see that whatever I am doing now, they are chained in a way. So if I uncheck this, it is no longer going to be connecting. You can see it's no longer there. This become entirely independent. They are not chained. If I want to continue in this direction, I have to manually pick the point where I want to draw this wall. If I want to continue vertically, I have to also manually pick the point again and drop. So there are cases where the need for this will most likely arise and you will want to use it unchained. Okay, so but it is always very important you use it chained, except for special cases, because modeling, it depends on how your architectural design want to come up, and that will determine how you will want to manage your settings here. Now there is another one called the offset. You can draw a wall and it will offset at a distance. So if I'm draw this wall here, it is giving me an offset of 500. Similarly, if I type 1000 and I press, if I hover my mouse along this direction, it is going to draw this wall for me at an offset of 1 meter. So this is basically how to manage your wall settings. Okay, so the same way we did this is the same way you can use your constraint by taking this particular wall to any level you want it to go. So if I want to take it to the ground level, that means whatever wall I am drawing will go down to my ground level. If I want to use my constraint from the top and I want this wall to go straight to the first floor landing, my walls will go straight to the first floor landing. So this is basically how to make use of your wall tool in your Revit software. In the next episode, I'm going to be showing you how to make use of your windows, your doors, okay, and the most common component in our Revit software. So insert your doors, how to insert your windows in your Revit software. All right. And then if you understand how to insert your door, your window, I think you will literally be able to understand how to insert any other component into your model. All right, so let's go down and let's go straight into this. You can see the good thing about the software is very interactive. You can see it's telling you the shortcut key already, telling you DR is for door and it's telling you WN is for window. Okay, so if I want to insert my door, all I need to do is to click on this door, and then I will hover my mouse along the wall part where I want to place this, and it allows you to specify to what distance, to what height is the door, the width of the door. You can play along with it. Now once you click on that door, it comes out just like the properties of our walls. You can see here it brings out these properties and a drop down menu here that allows you to select the size of door you want to actually make use of. And there are cases where the door you want to make use of may not have the existing size here. So all you need to do, you can pick any of the size of the door, and if that door is the type of door you probably want to use for your model, you can just select. Now if I select this door now, you can see here it tells me the swing angle, mystery insert. All of these can be, you can leave them at default. You specify the seal height. This is very important. When we come to our window, we'll explain that better. Now this door, you can click on edit the type of the door. Now if I click on edit, similarly just like we did for our walls, all I need to do now is to duplicate this. Once I click on duplicate, I will specify the width of this door as 1200, and then this is 2100. Although all right, let me just leave this as it is, and all I need to do now here is to change these settings. Now you can see the width of this door is 1700. This is the key most important settings I need to do. So I only did the renaming here, but this is the most important here, is to change this from here. This is 1200 and change this to 2100, which is going to be the height of this particular door. Now I will leave every other thing as it is by default. There are so many other information. You can see the material for this is a metal door. You can also change this by clicking here. It allows you to select the material for that particular door. You can change the material. You can similarly do for the door handle material and all of that. But now let me click on apply, and then I will click on OK, and I will specify where I want to place this door. Now you can see what I have here. I can place this door at any point. I can place this door. I can place another door at any point. Now another good thing is if I hold on, if I hover my mouse down, you can see it's opening outside. If I hover this up, you can see it's opening inside. And I can also change the direction of this door. Let's do that for, let's say I'm using a single door. I'm not going to change the settings this time around. I assume we already know how to do all of that editing already. So it's similar. All you need to do is to change to whatever size in terms of height, width. So if I click on, so let's say I insert this door here. So if I insert this door here, let me click on this door. Now, if you look at what I did, you can see we have like arrows here. This arrow, one is showing going this direction, another one showing going this direction. Similarly, this one upward, this one downward. The essence of this arrow is that it's telling you this door is facing downward. I can make this door to go upward by just clicking on this and it will change. That means it's going to be opening inside. You get. Now similarly for this, I can make this open this way. If I click on this, it will open in the other direction. This is basically how it works, and you can specify to what distance do you want this door to be away from this particular wall. All of that can be inserted. You can see based on what I have now is 1350. I can change that to 2 meters, for example. Once I press enter, you can see it has shifted. Now it adjusts everything automatically by default. You don't have to go into editing, doing a lot of trimming and all that, just like the way you do in your AutoCAD. It's way more easier and way more faster. I can also change this based on this. If from this door to this door the distance is 6 meters, I can just come here and type 6 meters, for example, and you can see it has shifted away from this place, and now the distance between these two doors is 6 meters. So however you want it to, you can manipulate it to whatever way you want. So as for the case of the window, I may not talk much because they are very similar to your doors. The same way you edit your windows is the same way you will edit your doors. Okay, so if I insert my window, you can see if I move my hand upward, it's showing that this window is this way. If I place it this way, it's showing that this window is opening outside. Now if I click on it, one very important settings that we must learn to do is the seal height. Now I'm going to show you that quickly in these settings right away. Now let's come to the 3D here. Now this is telling you that from this level to the bottom of this window is 900. Now if I change this to 1 meter, just look at it from the 3D, you realize that this particular window will change in terms of the distance from here to here. So if you measure this now, definitely this is going to be at a height of 1 meter. Sorry, that did not change, so I will do that again. Now you can see it has actually taken effect. Okay, so that is where that seal height comes from. Now the seal height is from the bottom of the wall to the bottom of the window. That is your seal height. Okay, so that is how to achieve that. However, just like your windows, just like your doors, you can select any type of window. All you need to do, click on the drop down menu and you will see different sizes of windows. So all you need to do is to select if there's any window that you want to use in terms of its size and it's not existing. Just click on any of these windows, and any of the window in terms of if their properties are the same, you can just come to edit and then you change by using your duplicates. You can change the material, change the height and the width of that window, and it will be here existing for you to use in your model. So that is that about your doors and your windows in your Revit software. So in the next episode, we will be going into the modeling proper. Okay, so I'll see. Today we are in the episode 8 of this particular training using our Revit for our design. This is basically the floor plan. This is the ground floor. This is the first floor. Now we want to reproduce this in our Revit software. As you can see, this is just a 2D drawing. One good thing about the Revit is once we can produce this in our Revit, automatically it will be generated in 3D. Okay, that is one very good thing about the Revit software. Now let's jump right into it. I will just erase every other thing that we have done here before. I will just highlight them and I will delete. All right, so this is the plan view. Don't forget we are at the ground floor level. I have explained this in our previous episodes. Now I'm going to do my plan in my ground floor level. So my ground floor will be at my ground floor. So I will come here and let's see what is the dimension. This is 9019. Although this was a PDF file, I converted to DWG, and that is why some of the dimensions are looking somehow like this. This is supposed to be 2000, this is supposed to be 4000, this is supposed to be 3000 and all that. So let's just correct that while we are doing the sketch in Revit. Now if I come here now, I will just come to my architecture and I will click on my wall and I will save this because from my settings I have set this to always save at 15 meters interval. 15-minute interval, sorry about that. All right, so I will draw this and I will take it at the length of 9 meters. All right, so this is 9 meters. Let me check. This is the horizontal dimension. Let's look at it vertically. What do we have? So we have 9 meters this way. Here we have 13720. That is how I'm going to use it. 13720. Sorry, like I told you, I did a little conversion, so and that is why this is like that. So I will go here down 13720 and I'll press enter. So let's see if this shape is actually straight. it's really straight, except for this that's actually recessed out like this. So I will take this straight first, and then we'll insert this later. So let me take it straight. So I have been able to do that. The next thing I will do here, I can just simply use the offset tool to offset this. This is 2 meters, this is 4 meters, and this is 3 meters. That is how I'm going to divide this. So I will just click on this, and I will click on my offset, and I'll click this at the center. I want to offset center to center. So this is 2 meters. This is sorry, I've forgotten the dimension. This is 4 meters and 3 meters. 4. So what is remaining is 3 meters. Okay. So let's look at this again. Here I have 2 meters, I have 1.5, I have 1.2, 2, 1.5, 1.2. So offset, pick it from the center, move my mouse along the direction. So I will have 2 meters, and then I will have 1,500, and then I will have 1,200. Alright. So, but then, if you can remember, our walls are joined. They are all joined, and they are all chained. So that is why it is like this. So if I don't want this as it is extending to this point, I can simply just drag this to this point. You can see. So let's see how this looks like from here. Okay, so there is an opening here. This one comes to this side. Okay, so let's see. Let's offset this by 6,200. Offset from the center, and I will type 6,200. All right, good. So this one now, I'll bring it. Let me bring it here first, and then let's look at what we have here. This is our store. This is the staircase area. This is the kitchen. So for this now, from the external to this is 1,178. So that should be 1,180. Let's say 1,180. So this one, I have sit out, I have store, I have kitchen, and this is my stairs. So this is 1,180. So let me arrange that. So this is going to be like this. This will be like this. And then as for this, I can break this. Let me click this wall, click on split elements. I know you can remember this tool as well. I can split this at this, split this, so it has been splitted. So I can just simply delete this. All right, don't worry, I will introduce that seat out here, but this is what we have. This one now, let me see what I have. Okay, this is at 3650. Okay, this wall and this wall matches with each other, so I'll simply drag this one to this point and then take this one to this point. All right, so this is staircase, this is the kitchen. I have my kitchen, I have my store, I have my sit out. This is WC, this is lobby. So I will arrange it properly better as we progress, but this is basically how that part looks like. And then let's come and arrange this place as well. So let's see what we have for this. So I have a hall, I have an entrance here. All right, let's see what is the dimension from here to this point. I have 2200, so I'll make it 2000 instead. I will offset this to 2000, and then this one here, bring you here. All right, let me break this here. Break this one, break this one, delete this. All right, so what do I have here? So the first hole here is okay, then this is the second one here. All right, let's see how does this look. So this one shouldn't be here. All right, let's look at this. Okay, we are gradually making sense of what we are doing. Okay, oh sorry, So let me orbit this. If you want to go round the building, you just use the orbit tool, okay, to actually go round this. So this is the orbit. If I click on it, I will just hold on my left click, just hold it, don't release it, and hover your mouse along the direction you want to view. It will actually take you around the building. It's not rotating it, it's different from rotate, okay. So this is orbit. It helps you to go round to view all the sides of the building, okay. So this is basically how this place is supposed to look, although here is supposed to be open. So I will make this open as well by just breaking this as well. So I'll click here, click the wall, and pick this tool, and then I'll break this one here, and then I'll also break this one here. So I will now delete this wall. Right, okay, so this is how it's going to look like. So let's quickly fix the doors and the windows in this particular plan. Let's come here to fix our doors and windows. As you can see, at 1600, this is the window here is 900, 900, 900. So this is 1610. Let's say 1610. I'm placing a window, and the window size is 900. So all I need to do is come to my window, just click on window, and I will select the size of window. So I'm going to use 900 by 12. So I have it here. I can just pick this, for example, and I want this to be at 1600 away from this wall. So I can just move my hand. Now just zoom properly in order for you to see your dimension. As you are moving your hand, you can see it's increasing. So this is 1600. I can simply place this here, and then the next distance. Now very important that you specify your seal height. You can see my seal height here is 900, so I am satisfied with the height. I will leave it as it is. You can change that seal height. I have spoken about it in the previous episode. Now this one, there is a wall here of 600, so I'm going to also take another window to 600 away from this other first one. So I have a 600, and then the next one I have here, let's see, is the next one I have, this is 1200, then I have 900. So I'll take that at 1200 distance, and then this one will be at 600 distance, I think. Let me be sure. 1200, then I have one, then I have 600, then I have another one. So let me see here at 600, I have another one. So I have 4 windows by this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure if there are windows on the other end. Let me see. But I think I have 2 windows at this end. So let me just introduce the window there, just to demonstrate. Let's say I have a window here at 900, and then this difference of another, let's say 1000, 100, I have another window. So let's say this is what I have here, and then I have a door here. I will introduce a door. Let's see, I'm just trying to reproduce what we have, and this door is at the center here. So let's come to our Revit and look for a door. So that door there is actually a 1200 size of door. So I'll click on door. I will save this. It's very important that you keep saving your project, although based on the settings it's going to save at 15 meters. It will pop up for you to save, okay? But because most especially if you are in a location where you don't really have a very stable light. So here we have I want to use a double door, so I will use 1200 by 2100. You could remember we created this door then. So I can centralize this very easily. You can see that has been centralized. So if I move my hand upward, it's opening inside, but I want it to open outside, and this is created. So this door is at the center. Similarly, I can create windows for this other side. Let's see how many windows. I have 2 windows here. All I need to do is to find the center. This is 1118, and then this should be 1120 or so. Let me just 1120. Let's come to my windows. You can take out your time to do your design properly, okay? So the size of my window is still 900 and 1, let me just say 1 2, and then I will introduce another window here at the center. Now I have 2 windows by this side. So I have a toilet here, and then I have a store here. So let's look for, let me just be sure of what I have from the plan here. So I have just an opening here, then I have a door here, then I have a window here, I have a door here, I have a window here. Then there's supposed to be a door here and also a window instead of just a window here. So I'm going to introduce that. I will introduce a door and a window. So that window, I'm going to be using a 1200 size of window. Although I don't have 1200 size of window here, but I'll have to create it. Okay, let's use 12 by 15. I have to create it, but I have shown you how to do that using this same Revit in the previous episode, how to create a new size of window. You can create that in your Revit here. It's very easy, but I'm just trying to save time and make this video as brief as possible. All right, so let me place this window here rather. All right, let's allow it to load. All right, so I will create a door. Although this window, I don't want it to open inside, but let me just create a door first, and then I will create another window. I will move switch the window to open outside, not inside. This should be 900 size of window door, and then I will just place it here. So you can as well place this door and swing it to whatever way you want. So if I want it to, all right, let me just place this door first. By the time I place this door, although you can see it's opening in this direction, and this is not how I want it, so I can just click this in order for it to open this way. And then as for this, I can do similarly for this. So you can just click on this in order for you to release whatever command that is existing at that moment. And this, I'll click this in order for the window to open outside. So far you can see how interesting it is to make use of your Revit. You can see whatever we are doing is actually coming up in our 3D automatically by itself. Now let's come to our window and place some small windows here. Let's click on window and look for a 600 by 600 size of window to use. All right, this time around let me just create a window so that I can just click on edit type, and then I will click on duplicate, and then I will specify the size of my window, say 600 by 600 size of window, and then I will click on OK. Then here I will specify the height and the width of this window. Right. So here I will specify 600 by another 600. So I'm having a square size of window, and I will click on apply, and then I will click on OK. Mind you, for your toilet windows, you always use a different seal height, because for your toilet, that the height from the bottom of the building to the bottom of that window is supposed to be higher than 900. Okay, so in that case you have to specify that windows seal height to be 1500, but however you want to do it, but the standard 1500 seal height is very cool, very okay, it's acceptable everywhere in Nigeria. So I'll place this here. Okay, let me zoom this. So I'll find the center, this is the center, and I'll place this here. Similarly for this, okay, if you could remember, I said the seal height is 15. Sorry, I'll click on enter so that the seal height can change, and then I'll place another one here at the same seal height of 1500. So that is that. So let me rotate this and see, let me orbit this rather and see what I have there. So I'll click on this. Once I click on this, the orbit will come up for me to select. So yeah, now I will orbit this, orbit. Okay, so you can see that this one is not at 15, so I can just click on it and specify 15. Now once I'll press enter, and then it has taken place. Good. So that is that. We have been able to introduce our doors, our windows, and then let me try to introduce the doors here. Here I'm going to have a 750 size of door. click on this drop down menu. I'll look for 750 and I'll place it here. So as you can see, the good thing about using Revit is that it will automatically give you your 3D model automatically. So you can do your sketching manually on the sheet of paper and then bring it to your Revit. Or better still, if you can still use AutoCAD, you can do the sketch manually on your AutoCAD. You can also import it into Revit instead of having to sketch it the way we are sketching this from the Revit. So you can even import from AutoCAD, which I have not shown you, but as we progress in the training, I'm going to show you how to import into Revit from your AutoCAD software. So for those of us that love to use AutoCAD, the knowledge of AutoCAD is still very important. It's still very important for you to have the knowledge of AutoCAD. So at some point, there are roles it plays, okay, that makes your work a bit easier and faster and even more efficient. Okay, so we have been able to create most our major openings. Here is supposed to be let's see, this opening I think is supposed to be around here if I'm not mistaken, and then let me just place it. Oh, but the size of this door is not 750, so I will delete it, and then or I can simply just edit this door, but I already have a 900 by 2100 size of door already existing, so there's no need for me to create another fresh one again. So I can just simply so by just double clicking, you can see it has bring up the preview of how this door is going to look like. Okay, so just click on it once instead of clicking twice. Let's come back to the model. I will just delete this door. I don't want to use this here, but let me be sure of the position of this particular door around here. So this is where the door is, and then this is just an opening. So I will do that right away. I will come to architecture and I will come to my door, and I will click on this drop down, and I will select 900 by 2100 sorry, I go again. I'll select 900 by 2100 door, and I will place it here. Once I place this here, this place is just supposed to be an opening. The essence of making this wall extend to this place is for you not to be able to see this door to this kitchen, so that when your madam is coming out from the kitchen, nobody had to really see her, and then she will bring it here, and then this is now the staircase area. We have been able to introduce all of this. The next thing I'm going to introduce is the floor. So I'll come to architectural floor, and then I can use my line to sketch. I can use boundary line. Okay, so however I want to do it, but I always like to just sketch this along the part where I want to create my floor. Okay, so if I just create this, I made a mistake, but that can be corrected by if I click this one. All right, or let me just delete it and use a line to, although you can see this line is not to the end. It's important that there are no space between the line. You must have a line that are bounded together in all corners, or else your floor won't be created. Okay, so everything now is okay. Make sure you specify the type of floor. As you can see, if I click on this drop down menu, I'm having a lot of lists of different types of floors based on the material. So I'm using a concrete floor and the thickness I'm using is 150, so I'll just maintain that, and then I can just click on finish, and boom, that has been created. So if I view this from the 3D, you can see what I'm having. I believe it's gradually making sense to us. Here I can simply also create an opening for the staircase area, but let me see what I have here in the plan. So I have an opening. I don't know, I think it could be a block, a glass block, or just windows, probably because of lightning, so that this part won't be dark. So let's look for a window that could serve for this purpose, or we can leave this area. By the time we are done with the entire model, we copy this ground floor to the first floor. We can be able to easily create that opening from the ground to the top, so that and again, it helps in giving this place a very nice aesthetical look. So this is about the ground floor plan, how to come about your ground floor plan, although I'm still going to show you how to fix in your dimensions properly. Add a room tag. You can see we have room tag, so if you want to tag any of the room, all you need to do is just to click to place a tag. You can specify if this is a staircase area, this is a bedroom, and all of that. So all that can be done from here. Showing you how to insert your room tags, okay, in your Revit. So let's jump right into it. I will click on room, but before I do that, I will have to do some separation. You can see this is staircase area, this is kitchen, this is the sit out, I think this is the store, this is a visitor's toilet, and then this is the main living area. Then we have here, we have the entrance. Okay, so all I need to do now is to use my room separator. It's very important that you separate this. If I don't separate this, let me show you what will happen. If I click on room, hold on, it's loading in the background. So if I drop this here, before dropping it, you will realize that it has highlighted some portions that I don't want this to highlight. So if I drop this now, you will realize that it has captured the staircase area and the living room area as one particular room, which is not what I want to do. This one is captured perfectly. Other ones will be captured perfectly. Like this one, I can't even insert here until I introduce that separator. So I will have to separate this first. So let me do that. I will delete this. Delete. Alright, so I've deleted that. All I need to do is use my separator to separate this. So this room is going to be separated here, and then I will have another one separated here, because this is going to be just a lobby. This is going to be the toilet. This is going to be a sit out, because there is no wall here. There's no wall here, so the software will not be able to recognize this area. So by separating it now, I can simply insert. So I've done all that. I will have to separate this as well. So there are two ways to do this. You can simply use the automatic, and you can manually place them on each room. So if I click on my room here and I click on place rooms automatically, once I click, I don't even have to click, automatically all the rooms will be inserted. You can see, so they are all inserted automatically. But then what if I don't want these numbers that are showing? Although you can number them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. But however, you may probably not want it that way. I'm going to show you that I will use my Ctrl Z to undo what I have done, but I'm going to leave the room separator. And let's say I click on my room, a properties menu for this room will actually come up. You can see it by the left hand side of my screen. If I click on this drop down menu here, you will see tag with area, tag with volume. So if I tag with area, for example, and I click on place room automatically is going to tag each of these rooms with their area in terms of the length times the breadth. Okay, so if this is what you want, you can leave it as it is, but if this is not what you want, you can simply use probably use tag with you can use tag with volume. Is similar. This time around is going to consider the length, the breadth, and then the height of the room. Okay, so if I click on place automatically we are going to see all our informations in volume. So you can see this is basically what I am going to have. So I will still use the Ctrl Z. However, I don't want to show the area, and I don't want to show the volume, and I also don't want to show the number, for example. And once I click on my room, once this menu comes up for me, I can come to edit type. So if I come to edit type, always duplicate this. Okay, so I will just backspace this. I will just leave it as room tag. Okay, and I'll click on OK. This time around, okay, there is one that is existing, room tag. Okay, let's say room tag new. Now I'm going to uncheck the volume, I'm going to uncheck the number, and I'll click on apply. Now if I click on place rooms automatically, you can see everything has been created without those numbers here. So this is one way to achieve this. So all you need to do to edit this is just to simply double click on it and name it whatever you want to give it. So this is living room, and you can name this staircase. So it's very interesting, as you can see for yourself. So you can go as far as doing some deeper editing to this your rooms. You can see you can edit, it allows you to do some deeper edition on your tags. It's still loading in the background. All right, so you can see you can simply adjust any of this, but as you know, we have removed them from our tags. So this and this are no longer showing, but however I can shift any of this, you know, upward, shift it backward. That's if the spacing I'm having between the room name and the number or the volume is actually too much, too high rather, I can simply I can remove the room names to centralize them however I want to. So once you are done with any of this, you can just simply close this. Okay, so and make sure you save it by giving it a name. You can just give it a name. Okay, and save. Just close that, and let's come back to our model itself. So this is simply how to come about your tags. Okay, so if you want to really tag all this can be done easier and faster by using the automatic. Okay, so for all of this that is not well centralized, we can simply move them to the center. These names can be shifted exactly, so we can just simply move all of these in order for you to centralize this. So I will rename this to be store. This is going to move this to the center as well. I think I shifted the wall itself. I will rename this to toilet bathroom, and then this one, make sure you are not picking the wall itself, you are picking the tag, not the wall. Right, so I rename this also as lobby. So this is kitchen, and then this is a sit out. Right, so if you love what you're seeing, just like this video and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. It's actually 100% free. Click on the bell icon for you to get a notification whenever I post videos like this on a weekly, sometimes on a daily, just to encourage as many that actually want to have a deeper insight of design. Okay, so to be showing you how to dimension your drawings in Revit. All right, so let's come to view. I want to just divide the screen, or let me leave it as it is. First let's do a dimension quickly on this. So let's come to our modify here. I will pick on the dimension. Once I click on that, I can click on my first point and then click on my second point, and I will take my dimension out. You can see as fast as possible. It's very easy to use. I'm still going to use this same dimension tool. I will click on this point, I will click on this point. Let's say I want to show all the major dimensions here. Show this. It's very important that your dimension is very detailed from here to here as well, and then to this place, and then you are also showing here. So I'll bring it out. Good. So you can see how quick and easy it is to achieve your dimension using the Revit. If I click this point and then I click this last point, and then I will take it out. Then I'll click here, click here, click here, click here, here. Although I've shown you how to do your dimension, but we didn't do it on a plan like this. So for you to have a deeper insight on dimension, make sure you go to the previous episode where I spoke about the dimension. We're able to explore all the dimension tools. All right, so I take this out here. So similarly, just like I did for this, I can come here and also do for this. Pick here and pick the last point. All you need to do is just click points, and then it will generate your dimensions for you. Click here, click here. Now it is way easier and faster to achieve your design on Revit than using just the AutoCAD software. Okay, you will agree with me that is way easier this way than using the AutoCAD to achieve. But mind you, the importance of AutoCAD cannot be overemphasized. AutoCAD is still very important for you to actually know how to use AutoCAD, because at some point you may need to do some serious settings, editing on your model, and if you don't have a very good knowledge of AutoCAD, some of the editing are way more flexible to achieve on AutoCAD than in Revit. And then AutoCAD has a way of integrating with so many other softwares, so it's very important. But you can see how easy and fast Revit is. So this is 2024. It's very important that you step up your game, or else you are going to be replaced. It's just a matter of time you will be replaced. So it's important that you update yourself with current softwares. Don't just hold on to an old way of doing designs. Okay, you can see how easy and fast this is. So we have been able to achieve this from our Revit. You can see we've been able to achieve. And the good thing about Revit is whatever you model here is automatically, whatever you do in your 2D is actually taking place in your 3D automatically. That's interesting, right? It's very good for presentation. Where your client sees this, they are impressed. They have a more realistic picture of how their buildings are going to look like in real life. So that's what makes it great. Okay, so I've been able to dimension my plan in my Revit software. Okay, so I'm going to see you in the next episode where I'll be showing you how to import your drawing. Okay, that will be in our episode 11 of this particular training for beginners in Revit. If you love what you are seeing, make sure that you like this video and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the important that you know how to import your drawing into your Revit. Like you know, a lot of people may probably want to do their sketch on AutoCAD probably before bringing it to your Revit. But however you want to do it, you can do it directly from the Revit software. You can also do it directly. You can also do it in your AutoCAD. There are cases where probably another architect may send you a floor plan from AutoCAD and you may just want to import it into Revit instead of sketching them afresh again. So in that case, I will be showing you how to import your drawing into your Revit software. Now let's go into it. All you need to do is just to come to your insert tab here. Once you click on insert, then you can come to import card. So if I click on import card, you can see there are so many ways to import. You can import PDF, import image, import GBX, ML. So the integration of Revit with other softwares is very great. That is one good thing about Autodesk softwares. Okay, now all I'm going to do is to look for an AutoCAD file, which is an architectural AutoCAD file. So you can have it in your AutoCAD however you have it. Just come to your AutoCAD and import that file. You can see this is a drawing. I'll click on open, and once I do that, it will come up with a menu for me to do some quick editing on them. All right, as you can see, that file has been imported, but the only thing now is the dimension of this. While importing this, I have to take care of the dimension. So this is not aligning with the default dimension of the Revit itself. So this is not supposed to be as large as this. It's supposed to be very small, like the way we have this one here. So we are going to correct that, and I will type Ctrl Z in order to undo what I have done. Now it is gone. All right, we are going to re-import this all over again. So while I click on the import card, this is the very important menu. I need to take care of those dimensions from here. If you look at this here, I have the colors here preserved, so I can leave it at preserve. So it's going to preserve the original colors from the AutoCAD file. And then this is the import unit. So I will change that to millimeters because the default setting from my Revit is in millimeters. So this is where we had that challenge. And then what level? I am currently in ground floor level, so and I want to import this in my ground floor level. So however, you can remember we have series of levels which we created in previous episode, where we showed how to actually switch from one level to another level. So I want to do this in my ground floor level. So all I need to do is to make sure that this is at ground floor level, and then this is auto origin to the internal origin. So from the origin of the file there in the AutoCAD to this origin in the Revit, this is where it's going to place that for us, so that you don't have to go into the process of searching or zooming in and out in order to locate the file that has been imported. So once I do all of these, I can just simply sorry, I didn't select the file. I will select this file and I will click on open. Good. Now you can see this file has been imported, but it is going to be like a block file. Okay, so it's going to be like a block file. You can't actually do anything serious with it until you. Now let me just click on this. If I click on this, I have simply just unpin this particular file. Now the good thing about this is that I can trace this drawing exactly as it is on my Revit, even without me having to. Now it's going to be way more easier than sketching. If I already have this in my AutoCAD file, it makes it way more easier. So if I click on my wall now, for example, and I want to insert this wall here, all I need to do, you can see the center lines can be, I can pick these center lines. You can see I'm just simply tracing these walls, which makes it very interesting. I'm just tracing these walls. So it's similar to what you have done sketching manually in the Revit itself. Now all you need to do is just to insert any of the your opening, whether it's a window or a door. However, I can just simply just click on this and select the size of that particular window. Let's say it's 12 by 15, for example, and I will locate the center of this wall because this is at the center, and I will place it. So this is how simple it is to achieve this. So if we look at this from the 3D, although I have messed up with the existing, but this is the wall that we created from the AutoCAD file we imported. You can see it has taken shape. So I have been able to explain how to import your drawing, so you can just simply do this in order for you to import your drawing. But I'm going to Ctrl Z this to undo what I have done. And mind you, you can move this file that you imported into the Revit. Okay, you can move it so that it doesn't tamper with what you have. As we progress, there are some great things we can be able to do that I will explain. How to import a ground floor, import a first floor, and all of them would be aligned. Okay, so but then let me pin this back, and then oh, it's sorry. So like I said, I can move this file from here by simply using the move tool to move this. So once I highlight this, I can simply just move from any point and I will drop it here. Now you can see I have moved this away from this, so I can simply do all my sketch here. So I can simply sketch this here. All right, let's look at this at the 3D. So, but I'm going to undo it though, in order for me not to tamper with what I have done before. Now you can see it's way more easier to achieve if you already have an AutoCAD file. Okay, you can just simply trace around it, and that is all, and you can insert all your opening easier and faster. All right, so we have been able to show you how to import your file. I will see you in the next episode. If you love what you are seeing, make sure you just like this video and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel. It's actually 100% free. Click on the bell icon for you to always get a notification whenever I post videos. I post videos like this on a weekly, sometimes on a daily, just to encourage as many that actually want to have a deeper insight of design. Okay, make sure you stay safe and stay blessed.